Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay. All right. So it's been a very, let me just fix my messy ass hair. It's been a very somber morning for me personally. Just like very subdued energies. It's actually kind of nice. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told, new potential requires walking away from old things. So sometimes we have to just let things be what they are and not really, not try and understand things, not trying this, not trying that. We don't necessarily need closure. I think it's time for us to really be honest with what we're doing, honest to ourselves. Okay. Oftentimes when we talk about we need closure, we're really just looking for a reason to hold on to something that we're not ready to let go of. And it's okay. All right. It's okay for you to be hesitant to let go, hesitant to walk away, for you to have a hard time doing these things. You are a human being. Human beings like to form attachments with each other. Human beings are very social creatures. It is okay for you to want to continue to be attached to someone else who had a profound effect on you. All right. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not necessarily a sign of obsession. It's something that needs to be recognized. And once you recognize it, you can then move on from it and not use closure as an excuse. We don't need closure. We don't need apologies. We don't necessarily even need to understand right then and there why someone decided what they did. We have to allow ourselves to feel. We have to allow ourselves to kind of just process so that we can move forward. Okay. When you continue to hold on to something that's already gone, we all need whatever time we need, right? I'm not saying that, as soon as something happens, you have to let go. It's an immediate thing. No. You go on your timeline. But these are things that you have to be aware of. Okay. When it's time to let go, you will know. Pisceans, especially, we have a very hard time letting go. We don't let too many people in. Okay. If you're not Piscean and you're cross watching for a Pisces, let me just let you in a little secret. Pisceans have everyone thinking we've let you in, but we haven't. We haven't. We haven't. Okay. We let very few people in. As a Piscean myself, we let very few people in. And the ones that we actually let in, it's devastating. It's devastating when you walk away, when the Piscean walks away. It's devastating. And it takes a while to recover from that. It takes a while to even recognize just how devastated you are by the experience. That's not a sign of weakness. It's not. We have to get beyond what society tells us we should feel, how we should feel it, how long we should feel it. And with Pisceans, we really analyze this situation, this experience, this failed connection from so many different angles. And that takes time. It would be easier if it was immediate, but at that point, does that mean you let them in? Probably not. As a Piscean, I can let go of most people immediately. You don't want to be around me? Okay, that's okay. And I genuinely mean that. That's okay. Go where you feel you're supposed to be. If I've let you in, which I rarely do, and it doesn't make me fake, it doesn't make you fake, to accommodate people, to be considerate of how welcome someone feels in a space. See, society will tell you you're fake if you're doing this. No, you're accommodating. And just because you accommodate people and you want people to feel comfortable, you want them to feel accepted and supported and loved, all the things that you don't feel from other people. See, do you see it where I'm going with this? We do this for other people because we wish other people would do this for us. That's a trauma response. That's not being fake. That's evidence of the traumas you've experienced in life. Now, if you're having a hard time letting someone go, you have to consider why. Are you having a hard time because you are feeling what they feel? Are they the ones struggling to let you go and they want to drag this out, and they want to see some sort of emotional reaction from you, and that emotional reaction, no matter the cost, they want to see it. They want to see you hurting, not necessarily because they're malicious. I think more likely it has to do with the fact that they're looking for evidence that it was real for you, that they mattered to you. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to deal with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you're here. Love you. We just had a little situation. Okay. For me, once I'm done, I'm just done, and there isn't anything left to accommodate or work with. But how long does it take you to get to the done part? How long does it take you to get to the done part is what I'm saying. Truly, when a Piscean is done, you're literally done. There's no crying, there's no nothing. The person just doesn't exist anymore. That's the truth of Pisceans. But at what point does that happen? How much needs to be experienced? How many tears need to be cried in order to be done? How many? How many years has it been? Because that's how long it takes. How many years has it been? How many years have you been done? How many years have you basically attacked yourself for staying around, sticking around, being patient, giving someone the time and the space to grow, while at the same time sacrificing your growth? Your wings are atrophied. Your wings are atrophied. By the time you decide to go, it had been done for quite some time. It had been done for quite some time. And here's the thing. Many of us think that if we just physically separate ourselves, that it's done, and it's not necessarily done. It's done because, like Plum said, once I'm done, I'm just done, and there isn't anything left to accommodate. There is no excuses left. There is no trying to explain or understand or be more loving or this or that or any of that. There's just nothing. 2, 3, 4, 6. So, one, 2. Just getting some cards. All right. Oh, okay. Those are the cards. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Pisceans and empaths, be ready for me to call you out. Be ready for the call out. Do some stretches. You might cry. Don't worry, I'll cry with you. I'm so serious. Here's the thing. Broomstick clearance. You're needing to cleanse your space. You're really needing, like really truly needing to cleanse your space. It's time to do that cleansing, that cleaning. Now, maybe your space is too caught up with all of these thoughts and these blockages that have formed because maybe, and it's a real maybe here, you've packaged everything, you've put everything into boxes, all of these emotional traumas, psychological traumas, all of these traumas have been beautifully packaged, and these packages have been stacked up, and it's now a fire hazard. You've blocked your own way out in an attempt to organize the thoughts and the experiences. You might have gone ahead and blocked your own way out. A secondary message that I got, clearance. Why do you keep putting yourself on clearance? You think that maybe more people will be willing, maybe more people will be in agreement with you and accept you and want you around if you're on clearance, if they don't have to pay the energetic price to be in your presence. See, I once watched this thing. I think it was Nikki Hilton. I think it was Nikki Hilton. It was years ago. Okay. She said she never buys anything on clearance, on sale. And they asked her why. And, you know, people assume she's just being a spoiled rich brat, right? And she says, well, the things that are on sale or clearance are the very things that no one wants. That really, like, I felt that. I felt that. You feel like you have to lower your value just so other people will be willing to accept you, will be willing to take you in. Once upon a time, when I first started offering public services, I felt very ashamed. There was a lot of shame attached to that. And I'm really not sure why I felt ashamed. I was very, very nervous. I was very, very anxious. I was afraid. Just flat out afraid. Just afraid. And you guys who see me as I am now are like, why would you be afraid? Like, that's crazy. Oh no, I was afraid. I was afraid that if I made myself publicly available, publicly visible, that that would give the world an opportunity to show me beyond the shadow of a doubt that I really am worthless to other people, that I carry no intrinsic value, and there's no one on this earth that can see, like, I actually have value. I do. I have value. And I've always been this person who doesn't want to try and convince you of anything. You either see it or you don't. You either agree or you don't. And I was afraid no one would agree. I was really deathly afraid no one would agree that I carry some sort of intrinsic value. And this is not about being better than other people. This is understanding that I have a right to exist, that I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to exist. And one of the first graphics that I made for work, because it wasn't work to me. It's still not work. It's me being me at this point. One of the first things that I posted for work stuff was letting people know I do readings. If I remember right, it was something like $15 for a full-on like Celtic cross. Really? Wow. I don't even know that person anymore. I really don't. I don't know who that was. And I felt like I was asking her too much. $15 for a Celtic cross. I mean, how many cards is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would pull about 12 cards. And this would be like a whole in-depth thing. Like a long thing that I would write up, and I would make sure to take care to not write things in such a way that would make it difficult to understand, and really go out of my way, And I felt like I was being greedy. I felt like I was being greedy. I had to let go of the old me in order to allow myself to enter into the new potentialities of what my life actually is in this moment. In this moment. Years ago, I used to do online auctions, live auctions every week. And I had made this one sword. And this one sword was a representation of one of my most significant lives. It was a representation of that. I'm going to cry. I still distinctly remember I was live streaming in the back of my RV at I think it's like a state park. And it started to rain. And because we were kind of in a valley type area, the rain was affecting my cellular reception. And so I kept live streaming, and my husband unhooked the entire RV while I was live streaming and began driving down the road. Yeah, he began driving with me live streaming in the back in the RV. And we ended up pulling over, I think on some shoulder or maybe at a gas station several miles away. And I continued live streaming, and it got to the point where I finally was auctioning off this sword that represented one of my most significant lifetimes. And there was a bidding war. There was a bidding war. These two ladies really wanted this sword. And they were bidding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No hesitation, just bidding, bidding, bidding. And it was going up and up and up and up and up. And I was like, yeah. And I halted it. I halted the auction. I couldn't allow myself to see the value that people place on my energy and the things that I make and the things that I program. I couldn't. I stopped it at like $800 something. And I was just like, I can't. I can't. Like this, that's too much. That's too much. And Michael's in my ear, like they're giving you evidence of how they value you. They're letting you see through numbers because you're so hell-bent on numbers speaking to you. And they're showing you how much value you carry. I still couldn't. I couldn't. I was like, that's too much money. That's too much money. Stop. I'm going to ask the sword who it wants to go to. You know, I'll ask the sword who it wants to go to, and we're leaving it at that. I'm going to choose $888. If I let it keep going, that sword, God, That sword, like me freaking finally starting to understand that sword should have been at least $5,000. Yeah. Yeah. But no, I couldn't allow it to go too close to anything that could possibly resemble what its actual worth is. And I was talking to my husband this morning because I had an auction yesterday for the first time on YouTube. And I totally was like, God, last night, several times, I wanted to be like, stop. No more bids. That's too much. Because I am actually really cheap of a person. I don't like spending like that. You know, like I'm actually very, very frugal. And I found myself wanting to be like, stop. No, that's too much. Bring the bids back down. You know, I'm going to pick this bid and that's where it's. And Michael kept saying, are you still the same person last night? Are you still the same person? Every time I would think of like, okay, let's stop the bids. Are you still the same person? I didn't quite understand it. I didn't understand it until now when I'm letting you guys know these processes that I'm in. I just let it keep riding. Like, I'm not to dictate to you how much value you place on any given thing. That's not my place. That is not my place. And I have to respect you and your sovereignty. I mean, me telling you to stop bidding is the equivalent of me saying, that's it? That's all you're going to bid? Why aren't you bidding more? This is worth more than you know what I mean? It's the same thing, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. How much have you changed? Do you still keep yourself on one end of the spectrum that doesn't allow for the truth of your value to be expressed? That final sword last night, I still fucked up today. I'm still like, Michael, you better blind me. I don't want to see nothing. Okay? So we have to allow ourselves to clear out the old caca, just the old caca. It's caca logic. Caca. It's caca. For real. Allow yourself to finally fully immerse yourself in your value. See, I've always been opposite from most people. I need to be able to witness other people growing in their appreciation of me so I can understand to a certain degree that I do have this value. Most people don't need to wait for others to show them. So card Pentacle, respect. There are things that are being cleared and it's allowing for higher levels of respect to be established. Okay? Higher levels of respect. Self-respect and maybe an increase in someone else's respect of you. Maybe they're allowing you to finally feel and see that they hold you in a different regard, a different light, you know? Maybe because it's money, maybe that's the problem that causes confusion. I have a very toxic relationship with money that I've been trying to heal. I don't like money. I don't like to flash any type of wealth. Like I've said this before. My mom used to be like, "You dress like you're homeless," and you know, like I don't have the healthiest relationship with money, and I'll tell you guys why. I grew up very comfortable. My parents were financially comfortable, and with that, I blamed money for the fact that my mom was never home because she was always working. That's why I hate money. I had everything you could ever ask for as a kid, but I didn't have my mom. Mm-hmm. So I don't like money. Yeah. Yeah. I'm learning though that sometimes the thing you don't like isn't actually what you don't like. It's not money that was the issue. Because as a child, that's what I thought. It wasn't money. It was that society is programmed the way it is, and people have to play by its rules. I don't, though. I don't. I'm very resentful of material things. Mm-hmm. It took me, I think, like several years to be okay with my husband buying me things. Yeah. Like there would be plenty of times in the first portions of our relationship where if he buys me something, I'm like, why are you buying me this? Attitude, like, why are you buying me things? Like, I don't even want you to pay for my food. Like, why are you paying for my food? Yeah, trauma response. That's a trauma response. Yeah. So the first car that my parents got me, like, bought it because of me. It was a huge, like, fucking family drama. Huge family drama. It was like an embarrassment. Why am I picking that car? It's so embarrassing. Like, okay, you're comfortable. I'm not. I want to pay for this car myself. And it's not an embarrassment of a car, please, God. It was a brand new Civic EX. And I was like, I want to make sure it's manual transmission because it's, I think, something like $1,500 cheaper. And my mom was totally like, would you just stop? You're being obnoxious. I want to pay for the car myself. That's not obnoxious. That's not obnoxious. And it was embarrassing to them because they play into what society says. According to them, okay, according to them, oh God, I did it to my son. Oh, wow. I'm an asshole. Michael says my reasons were different. So it was a huge argument between myself and my mom. She felt it was beneath our family. Crazy. She felt it was beneath our family for me to choose a car that didn't have leather interior. And I didn't want leather. I just wanted cloth. Up until that car, up until that Civic. All I ever drove was a Mercedes Benz. I either drove a 560 SL or a 560 SEL. I hated it. I hated it. And what really drove it home was one day, I think I was like a senior in high school, and I was hauling ass to get to work. Just like hauling ass. And I was driving the SL, which is a convertible 2-seater in a champagne color. And one of my best friends at the time, her mom saw me driving. And this best friend, their family is extremely affluent. Like extremely affluent. Her father was training partners with Bruce Lee. Like, they're affluent. And next time I went over to their house, her mom like really had an appreciation for my aesthetics, because I've always been a Stepford soul. You have to dress proper, you have to speak proper, you have to have proper posture. You have to always front with all this money. I don't fucking like that. I don't like that. And so I went over to my friend's house, and she said, "Oh, I saw you driving." I said, "Oh, you did?" And she goes, "Yeah, you look like such a spoiled little rich girl." What? You look so cute in your little two-seater. I look like a what? And she thought I didn't hear her. She's like, "You look so rich in it." I gotta go home. I gotta go home. There's a lot of things that you have to work through, and you think you've worked through it. But have you? And it's crazy because until this conversation, I didn't realize I was repeating patterns. But my son likes bougie things, so. My son likes bougie things. We're different in that way. I don't like bougie things. And my husband and I recently got him his first car. And I picked a car for him. And then I was like, my husband and I decided we would wait until he actually arrived in town so that he can be the final say on whether that's a car he wants or not. The car I picked was based on the interior. And I was like, I love the interior. It's the same fucking interior that I drove in. That same creamy camel leather. We can't let go of what we don't recognize. We can't let go of what we don't recognize. And maybe the way I saw what my parents were trying to do when I was that age, maybe it was skewed, maybe it was distorted, maybe they didn't want me to drive that simply for the aesthetics. I had a very different reason for getting my son the car that we got. All my mom's ever driven is a Mercedes. Years ago, she was on the freeway. The freeway was at a complete stop because it was traffic. And she was completely stopped. And someone didn't realize that the freeway was at a complete stop. I don't know how you don't realize that. But she slammed into my mom's car, rear-ended her at like 70-something miles per hour. Hit her so hard, all the airbags deployed, and her wheels broke off the lug nuts. The center of her wheels, it was still attached to the car. The whole fucking wheel came off. That's how hard she was hit. And all she got was a little bruise right here. Her car was fucking totaled. It was like fully loaded. I don't fucking know. It looks like an SUV. I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah. Totaled. She just had like a little tiny purple line right here. ML 500. Yes. That was it. Yeah. My reason for getting my son his car, the car can be totaled. I want you to walk away from that with little tiny bruise. So it's different. It's very, very different. The reasonings are different, but do I really know their reason? New potential cannot be attained while you hold on to the old logic, the old perception. You can't. You can't. So now that I realize I've repeated a pattern, and my son did pick the car himself. We test drove several cars, and it always came back to he liked the car that I liked for him. And I was telling him, like, you pick what you want. Okay. You pick what you want, and you pick what you want. Don't settle for anything. I mean, you don't have an unlimited budget. It has to be within a certain reasonable amount, but you pick what you want. And so he did. And it's this thing of not realizing how much trauma that I've lived through, how much that trauma has distorted the way I see the world. And now realizing it, and once you realize something, you're now obligated to yourself to process and release. There's nothing wrong with Mercedes-Benz. There's nothing wrong with Mercedes-Benz. And I used to have such a fucking disdain for, like, oh God, Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. Why? Because I wanted to blame everything else rather than accept to myself, parents make decisions. They do what they think is appropriate for their family. They do what they think is appropriate. If you have a family that comes from a third world country and they've lived in a very, very poor way, when they are able, the goal is to have as much luxurious material things as possible. That's the goal, because they didn't have that. Whatever you didn't have as a child, that tends to be your goal for your family. This is the reason I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's a reason I've homeschooled their entire lives. I'd never had help with school. And there was always this expectation, you better get an A or an A+. A means you're failing. You better get an A+. Like, we're not in Asia. They don't give fucking A+. They don't give A+, okay? I'm like in first grade. Calm down. Parents will do what they feel is most appropriate based on what they lacked as a child. It's based on what they lacked as a child. So do I still need to carry that with me? Or do I need to release that, create some clearance, respect the way my life has formed me, and move forward? I remember I was like 17. And I went to Claire's boutique and they were like, "Oh, okay, so you want piercings?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And they were like, "Okay, where would you like it?" And I was like, "Right here and right here." And they're like, "I don't know if we can do that." I said, if you can fit the gun there, yeah, you can." And so I came home with my tragus pierced and whatever this is. And my parents didn't like it. I think I already had like 3 piercings on each ear or something like that. My parents didn't like it. And they said that it made me look super trashy and low class. And like, is it my goal to become a stripper? I don't know how the fuck it went from piercings to stripper, but that was the argument. So what did I do? I still made my decision, but I also accommodated them. I don't know how trashy you think I am if I have a whole fucking carat diamond in my tragus. And they couldn't say shit no more. They couldn't say shit. That's a VS1 diamond. A whole fucking carat. What else? How you can't be trashy with a big ass fucking diamond in your ear like that. And my mom was like, can you just stop being weird? Okay. Let me put the other fucking diamond up here so it's a matching set. You want me to play into what you want me to be? Okay, I'll play into it on my terms. On my terms. And it has to be on my terms. Just be glad. No, my mom would slap me if I said that. I was going to say, just be glad I didn't put that carrot in my nipples. I'm just saying. No, I mean, I don't know how they would know, but you have to take responsibility for the ways in which you don't let go of like earlier life traumas. Did I need closure on that? Did I ever get closure? No, my mom has passed. My father is still around. I don't even have a relationship with him. I have zero contact with him. Do I need closure? Do I need him to explain to me what was his reasoning for all of these things? No. No, I don't. I don't. When you're dealing with people who don't take responsibility for the ways in which they negatively impacted your life, you don't need closure. You need distance. You need distance. You need to walk forward without them. And if you're not willing to walk forward, then that means you've made a conscious decision to stay. And if you made a conscious decision to stay, you have to hold yourself responsible for that decision. High priest or priestess, you have the ability to change your life and the way you see your life. You know what's really funny? I had such a disdain for Mercedes. And then I have an adopted set of parents now. My adopted dad, he's a Mercedes-Benz specialist. I'm just saying. And he was very instrumental in what car I chose for my son. Because I totally was like, well, if anything's ever wrong, we could like call Dutch Dad and be like, hey, what do you think is wrong? I'm just saying. And he was very instrumental in me finalizing that decision of I would really love for my son to pick this car. Yeah. Do you see the type of healing that's occurred? Oh my God. No, I'm not getting my son an AMG. He does not need an AMG. He needs a 4MATIC, but not an AMG. I don't even know what AMG is. I just know you don't need it. I'm still, is that the one that he showed me? Hold on. He showed me something. He goes, you need one of these, Mom. Hold on. No, that's not what he showed me. No. You know what I did want though? Oh my God. Mercedes-Benz has this like quilted leather seat. It is saucy. I wanted this. Well, I don't want a Maybach, but look at how saucy that is. Oh my God. Just saying. I love quilted seats. I don't have quilted seats in any of my cars. I don't even own a car. Let's be real here. I was like, I don't like fucking driving. I don't need to own a car. My husband's like, no, I don't want a car because then I'm going to have to drive. Please fuck out of here with that. I don't want to drive. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this, y'all. I mean, like, hello. That makes me want to dress bougie. Okay, let's move forward. Who gives a shit about cars? We don't. Okay. Beauty. Seeing the beauty in the way you've lived your life. Seeing the beauty in the surrender. Surrendering to your transformation. Surrendering to this metamorphosis that you're going through. You're becoming a different person. You're becoming a different person with every experience that you experience. Okay? You're becoming a different person, and it's okay. This fear of leaving people behind needs to be put away. The people who are unwilling or unable to grow with you, you need to love them in such a way that sets them free, because you're not the right person for them. They are not the right person for you, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's lovers, whether it's business partners. It really doesn't matter. When it's no longer aligned, it's no longer aligned. Okay? When it's no longer aligned, it is no longer aligned. So sometimes you'll have components of something that you're building, and, maybe it fell apart, maybe this, maybe that. Who knows? Who knows the reasoning? But the pieces came apart, and the only way for you to put it back together is having a new piece. Some pieces can't be realigned and glued back together. And you're going to have to be okay with that. You can try your best to glue pieces that no longer fit, but the integrity of that structure will forever be compromised. As long as you're aware of that. As long as you are aware of that. You just let things be as they are. It cannot carry any heavy weights. It cannot do what it's intended to do. And you're going to force that to be in your life. Okay, well, just know there's not going to be any depth to that. What is going on with my fucking eyebrow? Sorry. Can you just stop it? Okay. Sorry, guys. I couldn't take it anymore. Expression. Allowing yourself to express the truth of where you're at. First, just to you. And then to whoever else needs to hear it. Internally, externally. Okay? Just torch what has been dismantled. I don't know. That sounds self-destructive to me. That's like, when a car gets totaled, just torch it. Yet here are the pick and pulls that exist. And my husband be making me go with him to pick and pull. Not anymore, but he used to make me go with him to pick and pull like several times. And I'm like, why? Because there's still plenty of components to that vehicle that can be used, that can be salvaged. It's not trash. It's not trash. And just because we don't know what to do with it right now does not make it irrelevant or, trash for later on. Like, I didn't know what to do with that information regarding the cars that I drove, my best friend's mom. And, that's just all, I saw it as all part of my history. And yet, how many years later, 30-something years later, I get it. Oh, wow. That wasn't an invaluable part of my life. I get it now. We can't just torch things because we haven't yet developed the life experiences, the maturity, the ripening of submission to your own soul and your process. You can't use your lack of those things to become self-destructive. That's the equivalent of someone hurting you in a romantic relationship, that relationship ending, and you continuing for years on end to tell yourself you're stupid. You're not. How would you have known that had you not gone through it? On the flip end of that spectrum, my husband has told me, he told me right from the start, like, ain't nobody gonna love you like I can. I'm like, have you not seen me? No. I'm like, this guy is so full of shit. Let's see what he's gonna do. He was real cocky with that one. He was real cocky with that one. Like, you know, I'm just like, let's see you crash and burn. I'm gonna gobble your ass up. Let's see. So I was wrong. I was totally wrong. I did not gobble him up. I was wicked. I was wicked at that age. I was just like, I'm gonna hurt this one. Yeah. What? He was so cocky. I thought I was his karma. But I liked it though. Right. 20 something years later. Okay. You know what my son said to me? One of my like little ones. He says to me, Daddy's like your kryptonite. Yes, Daddy is. He goes, you're so weak when Daddy's around. What? Yeah. Yeah. And I said, I know, right? Daddy makes me helpless. He wants me to be a damn damsel. God. Had I continued with my own bullshit because I had a lack of experience, a lack of maturity, I mean, look at what I would have missed out on. And I probably would have joined the group of ladies who are like, there's no good men anymore. Like, no. There's a potentiality that, you know, you're drawn to the same type of thing because, like, he does not act like any other man I've ever met. That's what when I was a teen, most men would be like, really don't know how to act around me. And I'm like, this motherfucker be hella cocky. Like, what does he know that I don't? He be hella fucking cocky. Well, apparently he knew a lot. He was able to see beyond my traumas. The problem was I wasn't able to, and I wasn't willing to become able to. I refused to let go of the traumas that caused me to be who I am. And because I wouldn't allow myself to grow beyond, it became something detrimental. See, when you are who you are, that doesn't mean you don't have the potential to grow. When I say like these traumas that made me who I am, I'm not saying these are the traumas that caused the injuries that led to me being a broken person. I'm saying the traumas are like the shell outside of the seed. It protects the seed, and it's up to the seed if it wants to grow. Because you can water a seed as much as you want, but that seed doesn't always grow. You want to talk about how life has been very dark for you? Maybe that's because you were planted. And maybe the person who helped to plant you didn't understand that the pointy side of the seed points down or points up, or it should be flat, or that seed should have been soaked first, or whatever it is that I've done to fuck up growing the seeds. Mm-hmm. Yep. And sometimes seeds just need time to grow. Sometimes that's what it is. It just needs its own time to grow. It's not for us to decide this stuff. You can decide it consciously, cognitively, all you want. But until you're actually ready to grow, it's not going to grow. That's not something you can dictate. I'm sharing with you events from when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. That's like 20, 30 something years that it's taken that seed of understanding to grow. And you just watched it sprout right now. Does that mean that entire time that I lacked the understanding, that I was a waste of time? That I was a waste of space, a waste of resources? No. Just like the peony, it only grows at certain times of the year. It will only blossom at certain times of the year. And it doesn't lose its value because it's less accessible. It just doesn't. It actually becomes more valuable. In a sea of flowers, everyone's trying to be a rose. What's the value in roses? It's available all year long. What is the value in roses? You want to be one of those roses in the store and have someone with good taste pick you? You know what they do to those roses? They run this little handheld, it's almost like a staple remover. They run it through the stem, stripping it. They take away all your thorns, making you helpless. You're only good to be looked at for a certain amount of days. And then you're thrown away and more roses are bought. Who the hell wants that? Who the hell wants that? I don't. I might not be blossoming all year long, but I promise you, in that short period where I'm in the process of blossoming, God, the beauty of it. Do you guys know what peonies look like? This right here. These are the peonies I used for my mom. Oh, is this like... It's a summer glow peony. And they're fucking huge. They're like this big. They're huge. They are huge. Peonies. They come in different colors. But I love the summer glow ones. They're like this pale blush of pink. It's like gorgeous. It's gorgeous. All right. Moving forward. Release a dark wound, let love live. Allowing yourself to move forward and stop just internally rotting. That's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It's so unnecessary to allow that rot to continue. And it's not about comparing between peonies and roses. You know what I mean? A rose still carries its own value. I mean, it's imprinted on humanity so deeply that it is the epitome of beauty and grace, so long as the thorns are removed. But here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is there's so many other things you can be than what society tells you is the standard. Because the reality of it is, when you put a rose beside a fully bloomed peony, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. But do many people know about peonies? No. No, they don't. They don't know. So how do they know what they're missing out on? If you allow yourself to be a basic person, and I'm not intending for that to to sound disrespectful or derogatory. Because asking you to be basic to me is already disrespectful and derogatory. So I feel like I have to put that disclaimer. When you make it a goal to be a basic person, owning the same things that other people own, going to the same places that other people go to, eating at the same restaurants because someone you think is above you is eating there, then, you know, you're like a mass-produced rose. You're so much more than that. You're the entire fucking garden. And you're making it a goal to be a mass-produced single rosebud. Why does society value the rosebud? It has not yet blossomed. What is that telling you psychologically, subconsciously? That once you blossom, you're no longer valuable. But that's when your essence ripens. Hollywood, society tells us to throw away the women who are past their prime. Motherfucker, I'm in my prime every year I live. Past my prime. You fucking kidding me? You kidding me? Past my prime? I got plenty more salt to give you. I got plenty more salt to give. And every year I ripen further, you get more salt. Salt that you like. Salt is necessary to live. Oh, yeah, no, society tells you that you shouldn't be salty. Bitch, what are electrolytes? Salts. Thank you. Thank you. Society likes to tell you all of this bullshit that they need you to believe to keep you compliant, to keep you docile. I gotta scratch my head because that shit's just like, it got me stressed out. It got me stressed out. Let's just like, oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Fuck that shit. You're never past your prime until you stop growing. When you make that conscious decision to settle into the role that society, family, friends, jobs tell you to settle into, that's when you're past your prime. Sorry. I gotta just rub my head. Just calm myself down. Card number 37, focus on the light. Focus on it. Focus. Focus on your light. It's deep within yourself. And sometimes you have to recognize your soul is not trying to break you. That darkness that surrounds you is trying to give you a better idea of how bright your light actually is. People make it this goal to be love and light, not knowing what love is and failing to accept that that's artificial light. I only want what's real. I only want what's authentic. I let go of the old things that kept me bound to being who the old things tell me to be. No. No. I refuse. I will not be what you tell me to be. And when I get sick of you trying to dominate me, I'm not going to explain anything. You're just going to notice I'm missing. Where did Emmie go? None of your fucking business. Call her. Oh shit, number's disconnected. Go to her house. Oh shit, she no longer lives there. It's okay for you to disappear like that. You don't owe anyone any explanations. And there will be people who'll be like, oh my God, Emmie, you're encouraging people to ghost other people. Well, if they've been treating you like you did anyways, what the fuck does it matter? Do you tend to dead things? When the dead leaves fall on the ground, do you cherish it? Or is it an inconvenience for you during the fall to pick up all the dead things off the ground? Because the dead things are in the way of people enjoying the living things. So when someone treats you like you're a fallen leaf off the tree, I mean, you really don't need their permission. You don't need conversation because they were planning to rake you up anyways and toss you out with all the other dead leaves. Let that sink in. And you need to explain to them? Someone who didn't value you when you were on the tree? And then when you went through your process and are no longer on the tree, now you in an inconvenience, but you gotta, no, I don't gotta explain shit. I don't gotta explain shit. A lot of people in California, especially if you're raised there, live most of your life there, if most of your family is there, if you say you're leaving California, but all your family's here, bitches, do y'all fucking visit me? I've lived like 20, 30 minutes from you for fucking years now. How many times have you come to my house? How many times have you asked me to go hang out? Stop with your bullshit. When we were first leaving California, that was a thing. All our relatives are like, oh my God, but you don't know anyone else out. Do you think that matters? I'm going to do the same shit out of state that I do in California. Sit my ass at home, homeschool my kids, organize my fucking pantry. Okay. Disinfect all the doorknobs. Disinfect any handles in common surfaces. Do I seem like a social person to you? Do you think it matters that no one's going to come over out of state, just like no one comes over while I'm in the state? Let go of the old in order to tap into new potentials. Do you have to learn the hard way why your soul is encouraging you to do something so far removed from what is normal? One of my biggest regrets in life. One year I was told to evac California, to leave. We owned our house, like leave, just fuck it. Don't even bother selling, just leave. And at first I was like, yes, I should. And then I was like, but no, fuck that. We own this house. Like, we're not just renting, like we own this house. Where the fuck would we go? Yeah. One of my kids, the youngest one at that time, he was about 8 months old, 9 months, something. It's almost a year old. And then I got scared because I found out I was pregnant. So it was scary to me. And I felt like I needed to do what was safer because I know California inside and out. And so I should just stay in California. So around the time that I was about to give birth to the next child, the one that was about a year old developed symptoms of celiac disease. And we still lived at that house. And then the next child was born. And he was having some problems. And at that point, now I'm really scared. I can't leave California ever. This is where all my children's doctors are. So we stayed. And before that next child turned a year old, he developed even worse problems. So when he was about 2 years old, it was really, really bad. He still hadn't even walked, never crawled, nothing. 2 years old, wearing 6-month-old clothing. So much weeping eczema that he looked like a burn victim. And we were in and out of the ER quite a bit. The entire staff knew us. And then one day, my husband came home and was like, let's check out Texas. Let's see if we can move to Texas. And I'm like, what? You know, Texas is not in California, right? Yeah. And I'm so glad that he suggested that, because the moment we crossed over the Sierra Nevadas, that mountain range, my son's symptoms began to clear up. And the further away we got from California, the less he suffered. And when it was time to come back home, because we already saw everything we needed to see in Texas, the closer we got to the Sierra Nevadas, the worse his weeping eczema became again. Years later, I realized, because eventually we moved out of California, years later, I realized my kids are reactive to something inside California. For quite a few years, we couldn't cross the Sierra Nevadas. If you want to see us, the closest we can get is Vegas. We can't cross over. Had I moved right before I found out I was pregnant, my kids would not have been exposed to glyphosate through aerial spraying. That was a choice I made. Looking back now, it wasn't that I was in danger. It's that I was at a crossroads and I was being given the opportunity to choose. Will I go down this path and watch my children experience this stuff? Or will I take that leap of faith and go down this unknown road and avoid this whole thing that I'm not even aware I need to avoid? You can delay your destiny. You can. You can delay it. Do you want to? The other time I delayed my destiny, which is to be publicly visible, Michael, like a motherfucker, broke my brakes on the RV. First, he got me into Colorado. And then the very first city in the southernmost part of Colorado, we stopped to get something, and then it fucking started snowing in June. So that was the first parking lot we were stuck at for a couple of days until it stopped snowing. And then he told me to go all the way to northern Colorado, where he fully broke my brakes and stranded me in a parking lot for 5 months. Because I was like, I don't want to live stream. I don't want to. You can't make me. Sovereignty. Okay, little girl. Okay, little girl. You haven't learned yet? Hold on to what you hold on to. So I know exactly what to break. I don't know if you guys know this, but from like May until around September, every single year in the state of Colorado, pretty much every single RV park is booked solid. You're not getting in because everyone fucking owns RVs and trailers and boats and whatnot in Colorado. So it was like this, oh, you think you're going to be comfortable in an RV park? No, you're not. Because, yeah, we couldn't get into any other RV park because everything was booked up till September. And I'm like, why the fuck did you tell me to leave? Why did you tell me to go to Colorado, you fucking asshole? Oh, because I needed to be forced to stop my conscious decision, to delay what is the inevitable, which is my destiny. I have to be publicly visible. Why? Do I need to know why? Do I need to fully understand? Or do I need to just be like, this motherfucker crazy? Let me just go live. I mean, I could be mouthy all I want with Michaela over here, but what's the reality of it? When he asks me in a very monotone manner, is that your final decision? No, it's not. It's not my final decision. I was fucking around. Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Because I've learned. Like, I can be as sassy as I want. He won't stop me. But when he's like, okay, is that your final? Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. I am so not sure. Please guide me. What does my soul want me to do? And it's not him dictating to me what I should do. It's him delivering the message from my soul. I want to make that very clear. Michael doesn't tell me what to do. He delivers messages from my soul because me and Shim, my soul is a she, him, me and Shim, are we not talking right now? Are we not on good terms? We not talking right now. Is today St. Michael's Day? Is that why he woke me up and told me I needed to shower? I literally got out of bed like, I have to shower. I think he was tired of my hair looking greasy. Because I was like, I just put more product on the bottom. Level out the grease. What? It looks intentional. I don't know. What? My hair is clean right now. Okay? Card number 16. What you want wants you. You want that growth, it wants you too. You want to reach higher levels of understanding, your soul wants that for you too. Okay? Card number 29, seeing the true you. Allowing yourself to recognize the traumas that you've experienced in life are really helping to shape you. But it's not enough to just go through the traumas. You have to also allow yourself to interpret how that trauma is shaping you and making a conscious decision of how you will allow it to occur. People are like, oh, free will. But what are you choosing? You're not choosing shit. That's a harsh way to put it, but it's the reality of it. Don't give me that free will caca when you don't use your free will. You sit and wait until the events happen, and then you scratch your head, and you're like, my soul is punishing me. No, you're punishing yourself. I can say this and speak like this because it applies to me too. I'm not lecturing you. I'm fucking talking to myself right now. For the people who, there's been quite a few people asking recently, Emmie, do you only read for Pisces? What about the other signs? I read for me. This is not a tarot channel. This is an Emmie evolving channel. That means because I'm incapable of reading for myself privately, because when I see it and it's for me, I'm like, no, bitch, that's not what it means. Oh, yes, it is. No, yeah, no. Oh, shit. Reshuffle. That's how me reading for me goes. But however, when I read for Pisceans, sometimes you'll see my eyes get real big because I'm realizing, oh, this is my part. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm not a tarot reader. I'm a highly intuitive precog subatomic attunement engineer. I'm not a tarot reader. Show me how I'm like a tarot reader. Well, but you use cards. Yeah, because I have fucking raging ADHD. Are you kidding me? On top of that, I'm totally insecure about telling people shit. Like, oh my God, is that too much? Should I not have said anything? But when I have cards, I'm over here like, I know, right? We got to listen for that truth. Yeah, I'm not a tarot reader. I'm an energetic badass. Please. You got to listen for that truth. It doesn't matter what sign you are. It doesn't matter what sign you are. I mean, do I even really need to put Pisces in the title? Or at this point, do you guys understand? Like, we going to church right now. We going to church right now. Church is in session. Because I had someone like comment, I was it yesterday, this morning? I just didn't have time to address you. Like, I thought this was a Pisces reading. You can think what you want. I think the real question here is, are you hearing too much truth? And you don't like that? Were you seeking out the same bullshit that tarot people, not talking shit about tarot people, but tarot people are reading for, and you didn't like what you heard from me? Well, fact still remains, you clicked on that link, baby boo. That's your soul telling you, get your head out your ass. Get your head out your ass. I'm just saying. Get your head out your ass, because your soul is about to light your ass on fire. On fire. That's okay if people don't understand how I read and what I'm reading for and what the fuck is this and that. You're here for a reason. It's not for me to figure out what that reason is. It's for me to do what I am told by my soul, which is be nothing but publicly visible. And that's it. That's it. Right, Catherine? I have no Pisces anything, and I've been listening at truth here for a long time. Yep. And not just here, you've been on Facebook too. When people are ready to hear, they find me. Is it because I know everything? No. It's because I lack the filter. I don't have the filter. I no longer have social shame. I say whatever I say. I own what I say. And if you can't handle it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You might want to have a conference call between your soul and Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, all seriousness. File a grievance with your soul. Not with me. Not with me. Card number 5, follow your own rhythm. Follow your own rhythm. Swing between the different polarities that exist in your life. Just swing. Just swing. Okay? Stop trying to control the movement of your soul. There will be days, and you will see this. Watch all my videos, days where I'm jolly, days where it's like, something's going on in this poor girl's fucking life. Why does Michael keep telling her come live? She needs time for herself. She looks exhausted. And other days where it's like, oh, girl, did you put a new moisturizer? You're looking very youthful, very nourished. You can allow yourself to swing and have no shame of people witnessing you in your process. That shame was created as a program to limit you. Am I saying human beings are limitless? I'm saying in a very clear manner, human beings have limits, and those limits are what they believe is applied to them, is applicable to them. Because I'm very self-contained, I'm very much a loner. Okay, I am a fucking loner. I don't like making new friends. I'm good. People will know I'm weird. I had no idea that I'm not supposed to teach myself photography. I didn't know. In addition to teaching myself how to use a digital SLR. I also didn't know that I'm not supposed to be able to teach myself how to use Photoshop. I didn't know until my husband's really good friends who are photographers, like this is their job. Graphic designer, photographer, like they have a company. They do commercial work. And then my husband told me like, hey, yeah, so-and-so said you're fucking badass. Why? because you taught yourself all this. But isn't it supposed to be easy? Like, doesn't everyone know this? He goes, no. And I never listen to my husband because he tells me, like, he says, he says it's like the Matrix movie where they download all of the different programs, just shove the thing in your head, and then your eyes start fluttering, and now you know Kung Fu. Yeah. So he's made it a point in the fucking how many years we have been together to ask me the most random fucking questions. I'm like, look it up on your phone. I'm not your personal Google. He goes, yes, you are. Okay, well, so this, and this, and this. See, I told you you are. No. Follow your own rhythm. Allow yourself to download your information. The only limits that exist are the ones you believe are for you. The only limits that exist are the ones that you believe are for you. Un momento, por favor. Hold up. Mm. Hold up. Yeah. Hold on. Mm-hmm. After a few months. And the only reason I taught myself digital SLR work is because that man right there bought me a digital SLR. And I was like, what? What? I'm not a photographer. He goes, yeah, you are. Okay. Hold on. Let me find some good pictures. I love this girl. Hold on. I don't want to show you guys. I just want to enjoy the pictures. Yeah. I don't want to show you guys. This just like brings me back to a whole different time in my life. I'll show you this one. Yeah. Hair, makeup, wardrobe, photography. Just driving on down a country road, and I was like, ooh, goats. And so we pulled over. This girl, Brittany, she was on America's Next Top Model after we worked together. That one's at like 5 in the morning as the sun's rising on the Altamont Pass. That's not Photoshop. That's the fog rolling over the mountain. One of my friends came over, hadn't seen her in a while. And I was like, hey, you want to take pictures? Yeah. Had her lay in the grass that later, after she got up, the grass was moving. Didn't know she was laying on bugs. Yeah. I do still have a camera. I don't use it though. I'm about to give it to my brother. This one. She came over late at night and I did her hair, I did her makeup, and I took her pictures with my baby in a baby carrier attached to me. This one, I was teaching a model how to find her angles. And she couldn't understand what I was saying. And so I said, do exactly what I say. I know it's going to hurt, but do exactly what I say, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for. And I snapped that picture, part of portfolio development. That's not photoshopped. That's playing with the lens flare from the sun behind her. Another person who, after we worked together, was being considered by America's Next Top Model. This picture, this was featured in Maxim. Didn't do that work for Maxim. Did it because I knew her, I liked her, and she asked me to take her pictures. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Didn't know I wasn't supposed to be able to do that. I didn't know. And most of my portfolio crashed. It's gone when my hard drive crashed. That's all that's left. Yeah. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be able to do that because I had no one to tell me that you're not supposed to be able to do that. And the only time I was told that I'm not supposed to be able to do that was by someone who I got into this because someone I went to high school with, they actually got a degree in fine arts and photography. They had all the equipment. And then they asked me if I would like to be their makeup artist. And I said, okay. And then it became too difficult to coordinate my schedule with his schedule, with a model's schedule. And so my husband bought me a camera and was like, just do it yourself. What? I didn't know how to use a camera. Just do it yourself. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, since he put it that way, I guess it's supposed to be easy and I'll just do it myself. Within 6 months, that's the pictures that I was taking. So that's not several years of me developing it. It's within 6 months. Within 6 months, I had work featured in a globally published forum. Because I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be able to do that until that 6-month mark where I had shared with this person who I began working with as a makeup artist strictly. Oh my God, look, Maxim picked it up. And he's like, what? Oh, I've been doing pictures because it's just too hard to coordinate our schedules. You can't do that. What do you mean? Because you haven't even taken any classes. I'm not supposed to be able to do that? Conversation progressed, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm doing portfolio development for models in agencies. He's like, you're getting paid? Was I not supposed to? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to get paid for being the photographer, makeup artist, hairstylist, and wardrobe stylist. And oftentimes I would provide the wardrobe. I didn't know. And boy, oh boy, was he mad. Boy, oh boy, was he mad because all he is a photographer. He needs all those other people. I'm self-contained. I'll do all of that. You just got to show up. I'll even tell you how to pose. You just got to show up. You got to be able to listen to me. You got to trust, even if I'm dangling you off a cliff. We had pictures like that. I was pregnant, like heavily pregnant, and I was like shooting down a cliff. Like sheer drop off into the ocean. And I'm shooting pictures. And at the end of that, my husband was like, yeah, no more. No more. I don't think you're supposed to be doing that stuff. And I was like, why? Oh, because you're pregnant? I was huge already. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, they were all super comfortable working with me. I had my kid with me all the time as well. My husband was there. I mean, they were so comfortable with me and trusted me so much that it became like to this point where they would like literally undress in front of. I'm like, I'm comfortable with whatever you're comfortable with. I don't know that my husband and my kid are comfortable though. Oh, I'm so sorry. I felt so comfortable. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Well, that's when I quit. I closed down my mobile studio because that was the next step. Um, Entertaining the interest of agencies. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be known. I just didn't want to. So I stopped it. Do you have those same patterns where the moment you feel success coming, you halt it, you stop it, you don't allow it to progress? Because why? You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of succeeding and being seen. And that has to change. It has to change. It has to. We can't allow it to continue where it's okay for people to tear you down because then it justifies your feeling of not needing to be seen, your fear of what will happen when people witness you being the greatness that you actually are. It's okay. I'm still going through that too. It's okay. We do have to recognize what it is we're going through so that we can support ourselves as we go through this process. It is a natural part of you reclaiming your greatness. Are you aware that part of your ascension mechanics involves the reclamation of your birthrights, your gifts, your talents? Are you aware of that? I'm not trying to shame you. I'm trying to help you understand there are many, many people just like you and I, all afraid for people to witness their greatness. I'm letting you guys see little bits and pieces of me. In comparison to the depth that I exist within, you guys see just little bits and pieces of me. What's the bad that's happened? I'll tell you the bad that happened. I became more comfortable. And in that comfort of being myself, I became more powerful. That's what happened. Now I can just be me. I can just be me. That's it. What do I have to be afraid of? Are people seeing me being me? I'm sure y'all already know I am who I am. You know my attitude. You know, sometimes I cry. Sometimes I claw the shit out of motherfuckers using my words and my attitude. It's okay. It's okay. What'd y'all see me do yesterday? Joe, and then Barry, and then I brought my own Barry. And people might be like, oh my God, she's so rude and condescending. Well, I'm going to quote my brother again. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You want to be a bozo, I'll give you the fucking nose in the shoes. Hey, you know, I am who I am. And people need to learn their boundaries. Where's Barry and Joe now? Hey, Daddy. Daddy, could you please bring me Joe? He's on the couch near Jujubee's place. Could you please bring me Joe? You guys want to meet Joe? You've already met Barry. I'll let you meet Joe. Joe is coming. Daddy is bringing him. In the meantime, defend to the end the worthwhile. You are worth the while. Defend it. Defend yourself and your space. See, part of the reason why we rarely get trolls is because the trolls It hurts their feelings because I talk back. Here comes Joe. Hold up. Let me make space for Joe. Now, I don't want y'all treating Joe like he's a lesser man. Okay? Do not treat Joe like he's less than Barry. Joe, I'd like to introduce you to my people. Hi, Joe. Let's make you look good for them, okay? Joe has a beard to like make his, you know, he wants a more square jaw. That's okay, Joe. So this is Joe. I know you don't like me holding you like you're like a little toddler, but I'm just saying. So this is Joe. He's hot all the time. He has like issues with homeostasis and he can't regulate his temperature. So we've been letting him, you know, cool off. Joe, do you have anything to say? No, you don't have anything to say? Okay. I hope you learned your lesson about being a dick on my live stream, Joe. Asking me about OnlyFans. You know your mama know more about OnlyFans than me. Please. Please, Joe. Oh, I think my kids were trying to make him flip people off. And West Side, oh, hell no. Who did this to you, Joe? It's the oldest, huh? It is the oldest. I know it's the oldest. The little ones don't know about no West Side. They tried to make you like you're flipping people off. Are your phalanges okay? Look, he tried to make it to the West Side. And this one's a flipping you off. It's the oldest. I know it's the oldest. I know it's the oldest. Okay, you little pelvic motherfucker. Go sit over here. Okay? I'm willing to go all the fucking way. Y'all want to play? Let's go all the fucking way. Let us go all the way. I don't think his name is Joe. I don't know what my kids named him. We have an alien and skeleton collection that travels with us. Don't ask me. The bigger guy, his name is Barry. He really is Barry, okay? Barry. I don't know what this little guy's name is. I'll have to ask my kid. Ben. Oh, Barry and Ben. That's right, Ben. At least it's not Brad, is it? Barry and Ben. Okay. Card number 30, perfection of your life. See that? It's okay for some things to be allowed to burn down. Now, I don't know if you should take a torch and start torching things. You got to be careful about destroying the very structures you'll use to grow. Okay. Card number 2, inner trust. Card number 2, inner trust. Trust yourself to know what you need. Okay. You might not know why you're doing this and why you're doing that, but trust that whatever you decide, that's what you actually need. Have faith in your process. Oftentimes, the most rewarding growth requires you to have faith in the process that you're in. Okay. Card number 17. What is already with you? You have everything that you need in the palm of your hands. You have everything that you need in the palm of your hands. And people might be like, but Emmie, 144.44. Mm-hmm. But Emmie, okay, first off, don't address me like that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's bring him back. Hi, guys. This is Ben. Ben is just chilling. Joe? Ben. This is Ben. We'll just have him right here, okay? So sometimes people just need to allow you to go through the process that you're in so that you can do whatever you need to do in terms of growth. Now, when I say do whatever you need to do, I'm not talking about intentionally harming other people, not even people who have harmed you first. I have very strict, very staunch beliefs in that type of behavior. I just have very, very strong beliefs. Do not be the very thing that is hurting and harming you. You don't need to be that. Right, Ben? Y'all motherfuckers tried to kidnap me once. What happened? What happened? Huh? That's right. Michael said he lay in the smackdown. I did almost have an abduction from inside the house in the middle of the night. I was somewhere between 8 and like 13 years old. Between 8 and 13 years old. And I woke up paralyzed in the whole room, like the walls were translucent. And there was something outside. I live on the second floor. And there was something outside, and it was like I felt like I was starting to lift off the bed. And then everything turned like this cobalt blue. And then it was this sense of not this one. I was so fucking scared. Who's talking? Yeah, I was a kid between 8 and 13 years old. I don't know how old I was, but I remember what my room looked like. And I don't know when I painted it lime green. I might have been 13. I think I was around probably 13. Yeah. Right? You and your friends tried to take me and probe me. And Michael said, not this one. And I was like, oh no, it's a bigger demon. I'm sorry for calling you a demon all the time, Mikey. Card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. There's so much more to you than just your mind. This is so crazy. It feels like he's one of my kids. My kids totally sit in my lap like this with my arm around their belly like this. And they just sit and they just kind of like look at the world. Like, who's my mom addressing? What are we? Yes. Yeah. Do you want to see me the way it looks when I used to do photo shoots? I'll show you. That's how it looked. That's, yes, for several hours. Just like this. Just like this. And then you fabric around. And just like this. And you know what it was like grocery shopping? Just like this. I wish I could show you guys the legs wrapped around my body. This is how it was. And their arm is tucked under mine, so they not falling nowhere. See that? See that? And then it'd be like this. And so, like, one of my brothers said, like, I treat my children like they're barnacles. Because they're always on me. Like, literally for the first 2 years of life, they're in the Moby wrap. It's like tribal wrap, used as a carrier, a baby carrier. And they get out of the Moby wrap when they're old enough to be like, no, mommy, put me down. Okay. Start exploring. So, and then, like, you know, if you carry them lower on the hip, you can lift the breast and you could feed while you're grocery shopping. Yes. And then, of course, like, I don't know if you guys ever breastfed, but there's something about, like, the kid needed to have, like, the hand in the boob and then the other boob. And I'm just like, bro, you know, we're like in the store, right? I mean, you could still eat. There's nothing wrong with eating, but you just leave the other one in its carrier. Like, just leave it alone. You know, let me know when you want to switch. But this is how, oh my God. Oh, I haven't held a little person like this in forever. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know what a Lahu sling is, but mine was a Moby wrap, and it's just like, I don't know, several yards of fabric. And so you could use it as a side carrier, a front carrier. You can do a kangaroo thing where it's like skin to skin and the baby's all curled up. You can even carry them on your back like a backpack. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah, I really liked it. I don't know if they still make Moby carriers, but he's gonna have to stay. I don't know if one of my kids would volunteer to be held like this for the rest of the day. But I think I need this again. I think I need this just for the day. And my kids would do that, like just a finger in their mouth, looking at the world, looking at the world. I once went to Golden Gate Bridge with all my kids. Like one of my kids looked like a legit Gerber baby. I wish I could show you pictures of him. He looked like a legit Gerber baby, and he was maybe like 5, maybe 6 months old. And we decided to take a family trip to the Golden Gate Bridge, and he was in the baby carrier. And then up rolls this huge tour bus full of people, tourists from Japan. I don't know who saw us first, but they surrounded us. I don't know what they thought I had in my shirt, but they were acting like it was a Sanrio store in my shirt. Not even joking. They all wanted to touch him. They wanted his hand to come out of the carrier. They wanted to touch his face. I'm like, don't touch him. No, like, don't touch my kid. Yeah. Daddy will attest. They thought I was carrying like a fucking doll or something. He moves. He's alive. But yeah, he looked like a total Gerber baby. So I can't blame them. Yeah, no, they and then another old lady at the grocery store, same child. He was kind of horizontal and he was breastfeeding, but he was completely covered. You just saw his little mohawk. He was born with a mohawk. No joke. Perfectly symmetrical all the way back. Literally, he had a mohawk. And she just saw his little mohawk, and he was breastfeeding because the cover was like up to here. And then she came up to me. She must have been like 70 or 80. She tried to pull it down. You know what I did? I let her. I let her. You want to be fucking nosy? Hope my big ass boob traumatizes you. I let her, and I just looked at her like, oh, he's feeding. Oh, I'm sorry. And she pulled it back up. No, it's okay. It's what you get. It's what you get. Be pulling that shit that doesn't belong to you. So I let her. I'm so not even ashamed. I let her see my boob. I let her see my boob. Yep. So King of Winter, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional. Get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking, unemotional relationships. I feel like this has to do with people who have tried to get you to remain quiet on whatever it is that's happened. Like, this is so natural for me. It's fucking ridiculous. Holy shit. No, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go before I get any ideas of any more kids. You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. He's gotta go. That felt a little too comfortable. 2 of Summer, falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. You know, I feel like it's pertaining to your relationship with yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Your relationship between self and soul can be healed. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Like forgiving yourself for not knowing any better, so you couldn't do any better. Okay, just really allowing your process to be what it is. Love yourself in that way. There's no baby fever here. I'm perfect temp right now. There's no fever here at all. You know what I'm saying? None. None. Good temp. You know, if y'all want me to babysit, I can do that. We can do that. We can babysit. I am now at an age where fuck that. I'm sleeping. I didn't know where that came from. Okay? Okay? I want my breasts to be mine. I'm tired of a little person telling me what part of me I'm allowed to touch. I'm just saying. Like my kids would be breastfeeding, they're like, push my hand away. I'm fucking itchy right here, dude. Let me just scratch right here. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh no, 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 no. That comes with baby hand swatting, kicking of the feet, like, don't touch that. I'm gonna eat that next. Okay? My nipples like the peace. I'm just saying. If you've never breastfed, please don't give me that shit about it's natural. Okay? And I breastfed my kids all the way through. Don't give me that shit that it's natural. When you got a little human being making it their mission to rip off your areola. Unless you've experienced that. Kindly shut your fucking mouth. I'm all for breastfeeding, but ladies, that shit is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. 9 years, sir. 9 years straight. 9 years straight. Sometimes tandem. Luckily, my kids, because they're born close in age, the older one would be like, I don't understand. He had some boob first. Okay, well, you wean yourself then. Go ahead. I'm really not tripping. No, I never address my babies like, baby, you have to share. Little brother needs some boobs too. Be a good big brother. Make sure baby brother can eat. He can't have baby food like you. Yeah, no. If you think, you're not thinking if you think this, but if you think you can simulate the suction of a newborn by placing a breast pump on your nipple, you got shit twisted. You got shit so fucking twisted. That is the most gentle experience you will ever have. You think that's what it feels like? I barely got feelings back in my nipples. Oh, you're tripping. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Breast pump? Yeah, okay. Breast pump don't have like jaws. It's the baby's mouth. They're not just sucking like this. They're like, that's what they're doing to you. I'm just saying. It's not just suction. I don't know where this live stream is going. Hive at Spring, opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. And maybe that overly ambitiousness has more to do with you thinking you need to be somewhere else than where you're actually at, within yourself, in your life. The Empress, time to take action. The power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. Okay, I'm not opposed to that anymore. Give me a life of luxury where I have enough luxury to feed people who are hungry. A life so luxurious that I can go ahead and create my soul sanctuary that I've been waiting to create for many, many years. Give me a life that's so luxurious that rather than purchase a private jet, I can afford to make education free for many, many people. so that they can have the same opportunities as people who can afford those educations. I'd like that life of luxury. I'm pretty sure I'll still be wearing the same clothes that I own right now. Yes, unless I have to go do some sort of, work event. And the only reason I say that is because my husband forces me to not do work events in pajamas. And I say people need to get the full Emmie experience. Like, why do I need to dress up? And he's like, no, you're hosting a retreat, a luxury retreat. You cannot go in your jammies. First off, that has a hole in the ass, but just a small one. They're not even seeing any ass cheek. And yo, so my phone is shattered, right? And I said, I don't want a new phone. Why don't we just switch it to the other phone that I broke the last time, but it's just one crack across the screen, because that one won't cut me. This one actually already cut me. And this man keeps taking away my sovereign right to choose with the excuse of, you are a CEO. According to whom? According to whom? And sometimes he changes it. What did you say to me the last time? You own your own business. So then that means no one can supervise me and tell me I need to change my fucking equipment. Start acting like I'm the owner. I don't want a fucking new phone. And I don't want a fucking Apple. And then, and I'm getting an Apple because I'm the only one in the family without an iPhone, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a rebel. and then my son says to me in a very somber tone, well, mamas, if you get an iPhone, we can all FaceTime with each other. That's so manipulative. Okay, we'll get an iPhone. Yes. You guys want to do a pajama retreat? My pajamas have hole in the ass. I have to get new pajamas. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Do you guys see anything wrong with wearing yoga pants to sleep, like stretch pants to sleep, and then getting up in the morning and you're ready for the day? You're ready for the day. You're already dressed for the day. You just slept in it. Is there something wrong with that? Because, something happens in the middle of the night, I'm fucking ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay? And this thing of you can't wear your jammies. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? What you say to me? Do you not see this? Okay, I'm sorry, what? You want me to be pantsless? What? These are workout pants. Fleece lined. I'm ready. I'm ready to conquer the world. Just saying. Just saying. I don't sleep in tight clothes, but I literally live in leggings all day, every day. Well, see, that's the thing. These are not tight. These are so not tight. These are so not tight. They're not tight. They're not tight. I can't do tight clothes. I can't. This is way bigger than what I need it to be. That's okay. What I do is I take my hands and I go around the hip, low belly area, and I just kind of scoop the boobs up, and then the shirt's tucked in there. it collects the sweat, and the shirt is big enough that my Dunlap is still covered. What? I have a Dunlap. You know, when your lower belly Dunlapped over your pants. What? I do. I have a Dunlap. You don't got a Dunlap? You can't talk to me then. You don't know what that is? You don't have one? Don't talk to me. How you going to hate from the outside of the club? You can't even get in. You don't got a Dunlap? Don't say nothing to me. Well, you got a flat stomach? Well, good for you. I got one that's an amazing pillow for my man. And my kids. I like your squishies. Yeah, good. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. Glad you like it. Yeah, no, I'm not even bitter about that. I'm just leave my Dunlap alone. I should name him Dennis. Dennis a Dunlap. Dennis a Dunlap. That's where we're cutting it. Y'all give this video a thumbs up. But I thought I was done. It's just some bullshit. You got mom boobs? I feel you. I feel you. I'm just saying. I can tuck my boobs into my pants. I'm not even ashamed. I origami my boobs into my bra. I do it so well that one motherfucker accused me of having fake boobs, which, I mean, that's kind of offensive because if you purchased your breasts, those are still your breasts. You own them. There's nothing fake about it. So he accused me of having implants, and I was like, oh my God, they look that perky. I origamied it into my bra. Yes. Yes. And I definitely remember at my cousin's wedding, they were talking like people in her bridal party were talking about how my boobs are like watermelons and yada, la, 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 la. And I was like, no, that's because they're in a bra. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they're more like upo. You know what upo is? Hold up. Okay. That's upo. Yeah. That's upo. That's a veggie. And they looked at me and they're like, I said, yeah, no, they're not like watermelons. They're like upos. It's a squash. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. And then one of them, because we joke around and stuff, they've been together since we were in high school. And the older sister comes up to me and she goes, no. And she tries to like give me a titty twister. I'm like, oh no, cousin. My nipple's down here. You reaching way too high. Like, no, my nipples are focused on my knees. She goes, oh shit, you got Upo. Yeah. Was I trying to be funny? I don't know why y'all are laughing. I mean, I'm being serious here. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, that's how you know you're a mom. You probably breastfed too. That's okay. I take it as evidence of what I've done for my kids. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Card number 27, the Angel Rasbar. Tell me the truth, I asked love. What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the recurring joy of living. The Master speaks of a den of riches where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and yet ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the Master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. Where are these precious jewels, they cry, for we cannot find them anywhere. The Master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly. In service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. Divine contribution is offered to those who wish to contribute to the world. The great beloved sees what's in your heart, what it is you wish to offer, and is saying yes. So you are being empowered to serve, to assist, to offer a genuine spiritual contribution to this planet, to become a sacred hand at work for all the will of heaven. Such is the capacity bestowed upon the soul that is wise and filled with love, and therefore desiring to serve. So then do not doubt yourself. You have been blessed with this by the Master to find the precious jewel of your own soul and claim it. Cast aside your doubts. Yet perhaps this is not easy for you to do. Perhaps you look at the world, even your chosen field of endeavor, and already you hear so many voices speaking. You may wonder if your own contribution would simply add noise to a cacophony. You may wonder if you can truly help, if you have anything genuine to add, or if there is just too much noise anyway. You may hesitate and become fearful. Don't despair. It's part of your divine destiny to add something of great value to the world, something that has its place even amongst all that activity, something needed absolutely in the hearts of all. That precious gift is the true silence. The true silence is peace. It's that living experience of the external love of the divine that asks nothing but to be received and gives of itself unconditionally. That silence is present underneath even the most loud noise, if one knows how to access it. The true silence can only be felt through the beautiful feeling heart. When you know how to feel for it, to surrender into it, you can transmit silence in many ways, through the peace you cultivate in your heart in your own daily living, through your presence, through your art, even through your voice, written, sung, or spoken. Yes, even through sound, if that is your path of service. Silence can emanate through your voice, and divine silence can be felt in the hearts of others. The true and great silence, as you may now realize, my dear angel, is not the absence of sound. It's the experience of the divine presence of love. So shall you trust in the wisdom of the Master who bids you to serve according to the graces you have been given. Will you choose to put aside your doubts and instead believe in yourself in the power of divine love that will reach out to the world through your willing soul? Yes, I knew your brave heart would accept this empowerment. I knew you wanted to serve more than you wanted to fear. What is in your heart is the method by which the great jewels shall be collected. The Master teaches us that we are built to serve according to a higher perfection. So if to dance is in your heart, then dance. Be open and free. Do not hide. Dance. If prayer is in your heart, then pray. If you can feed the poor with food, if you can give the despairing kindness, the lost your words, and those who have turned away from the great Master a healing touch, then do so. Do so without doubt, without having to be the best or the greatest or any other notion your mind conjures. Just be willing. Willingness, not perfection, is required from you. So then there is room for freedom to awaken in you. Willingness opens you to divine assistance, and through that empowerment, even greater joy of being will grow within your sacred heart. Your service can flow from simply being yourself in the world, completely and utterly. Your radiance can become one of the sacred candles of the Holy Master. There are many candles that hold the Master's light, and yet each one of them is precious beyond compare. Be such a light. Scoop up the jewels through your service, and do not render yourself incapable through nightmares of false imaginings and smallness of mind. Yes, your heart is too big for your mind, and it will break it open. But that's okay. Do you think you only serve love and are not also served by love? The helpers are always helped. This is love's way. Do you feel as though you are a foreigner in this land? Angel Rasbar will show you the way then, for she knows you from a long, long time ago, though you might have temporarily forgotten the acquaintance. She's a great hostess and guide in this terrain of divine love, and she remembers you. You who are great of heart and capable of contribution. You who are now signing up for service in the great work of love. Yes, there's work for you to do. Your purpose is bestowed. Serve, assist. Do not hold back for any reason. Not one reason you could imagine is worthy of you. So then aliveness. So then service. So then joy. Help and be helped. That is the way for you now. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being guided deeper into your life purpose and divine destiny. Like a maturing adult who is ready to take on the mantle of a greater responsibility, your soul is stepping up. You are going through a process of assuming more spiritual responsibility for the honest and empowered expression of your own essence. And through that, your healing presence in the world is increasing. You're stepping up and forward onto your path. This is appropriate now. It will make you more visible, but that is as it should be. It is not about being worth more than another. It's about the utterly sensible use of light, that it not be dampened down by the shade, but instead be placed where it can cast its fullness so that others, still in darkness, may find their way more easily. This is efficient, intelligent, and sensible. Your success and growth is drenched in compassion and brings joy to the heart of the Master as another and another find their way, benefiting from the light of your being. So shine true. Be humble, but not dismissive of your gifts. Allow others to find their way more easily because you choose to honor the power of the great silence that emanates through you evermore as you trust and surrender. This oracle brings special messages of reassurance that you are making progress and are indeed on the right path. Although it may not unfold exactly as you anticipate, it will indeed unfold. You are making a positive impact in the world. More than you consciously realize. And you're asked, therefore, to continue. Do not give up. Do not turn back. Just continue. Take your steps, your journey, and know that the great Master is aware of you and is sending the holy ones, including that wise ancient mother, Angel Rasbar, to bring you the blessing of the true silence now. Let it clear and soothe your mind and heart and help you remember the peace that dwells within you. All is well. Wow. Wow. I think I have to read that a few times to fully grasp the true gravity of it. There's a gravity to that message that helps someone who is so extremely high frequency, so powerfully aligned between self and soul, to really just anchor into what your purpose is in this life. Yeah, it's exactly what we talked about in this whole love stream. No, it's a love stream. That's what I used to call my live streams. When I used to live stream, I would only live stream on my phone because we were traveling all the time. And every time I would write it out, my phone would automatically correct it to love stream, not live stream. And finally, one day I got tired of having to go all the way back and fix it. And I realized, it is a love stream. It's a stream of divine love. It comes from a consciousness that transcends the limitations of human perception. It comes from a place that's powerful enough to repair all the injuries caused by your human existence. It's a stream of love. You're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly at the lesson you need to be at. You are not behind. You are not early. You are perfectly timed and placed within your journey, within your life, and within the life of the people around you. I mean, that was so powerful. Perhaps this is not easy for you to do. Perhaps you look at the world, even your chosen field of endeavor, and you already hear so many voices speaking. You may wonder if your own contribution would simply add noise. For people who haven't yet learned how to appreciate a symphony, it would sound like coordinated noise. Noise. What is noise to the unrefined could potentially be a symphony to the ear that knows how to listen. Willingness, not perfection, is required from you. So then there is room for freedom to awaken in you. Willingness opens you to divine assistance, and through that empowerment, even greater joy of being will grow within your sacred heart. Your service can flow from simply being yourself in the world, completely and utterly. There are many candles that hold the Master's light, and yet each one of them is precious beyond compare. You're stepping up and forward onto your path. This is appropriate now. It will make you more visible, but that is as it should be. It's not about being worth more than another, to be uplifted in that way, to be placed on a proper pedestal in that way. It's not about being better. It's about the utterly sensible use of light, that it's not dampened down by a shade, but instead be placed where it can cast its fullness. So that others, still in darkness, may find their way more easily. This is efficient, intelligent, and sensible. Your success and growth is drenched in compassion. Shine true, be humble, but not dismissive of your gifts. And that's why I do the readings. Because that's like the most perfect message for where I personally am in my journey. Now I get it. I shared fairly recently that my husband and I were having conversations regarding how someone had come on the live a few weeks back and was talking about like I'm evil and they have to clean up the work that I do and that I'm spreading to M. And my husband was basically telling me like sometimes I gotta flex, sometimes I gotta let people know I'm actually above you. And I was like, but I don't, that's not me. I don't want to, that's not how I am. That's not who I am. And he's like, well, you might need to consider that that's part of what you need to do. In different words, obviously. And I was like, no, I think I can do it without doing that, without putting myself on a pedestal. And now, because I was like, why would I need to do that? Because it's efficient. It's intelligent. It's sensible. Because my success and my growth, my power is drenched in compassion. And sometimes really the most compassionate thing to do is let a child know you're still behaving like a child. You're nowhere near adult. And as someone who's in the adulthood of her soul, I'm here to bring awareness to that for you. And being in the adulthood of my soul is not the end all be all, because at some point in my life, I will enter into the elderhood. I will become an elder. And that's a treasure. I truly, fully believe that the elders are the most precious treasure we have as societies. The elders and the children, and the adults are nothing more than the bridge between the two, the caregivers, making sure the elders have what they need and the children are nurtured so they can grow into beautiful, loving, compassionate, graceful adults. Yeah. So this was profound. This is profound. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You're being guided deeper into your life purpose and divine destiny. Like a maturing adult who's ready to take on the mantle of a greater responsibility, your soul is stepping up. You can't keep the same level of responsibilities your entire life. When you mature and you expand your awareness and you stabilize in that maturity, because you need to stabilize after the growth. And when you do stabilize, you are then obligated to assist others who are in the same process. But until you're stabilized, so long as it's still new growth, your needs come first. It must come first. And eventually, you become so powerful within your own journey that helping other people is just the appropriate, sensible, powerful thing to do. So that's where we're at. We're being asked by soul. We're being asked by soul repeatedly to assess where we are within our journey. Where are you? Sometimes an adult needs to be checked, and it's okay. You do it as best as you're comfortable with. People sometimes need that type of correcting. And sometimes we need to recognize that the body is an adult, the mind, the consciousness that resides in the body never grew beyond the period where they were traumatized. And it's not about harmful people need to be understood, they're wounded and this and that. It's about recognizing what's in front of you. And if what's in front of you is a grown child, then maybe you need to consider being that, powerful parent. My kids know I have specific expectations of them. Like I said, you can disagree with me. You can be upset with me. You can be disappointed. You can be flat out mad. You can speak to me with passion, but you can never intentionally disrespect me. Because all of the choices that I've made have always been with your benefit at the forefront of my decision-making process. I have earned that respect over and over and over from the time you were a little jelly bean in my belly. Don't ever be intentionally disrespectful. And what do I mean by that? You can be like, I'm fucking mad. Okay, I get it. You're pissed. But you can't be, fuck you. You make me mad. Come a little closer so I can hear you better and slap the shit out of you, because you will not fucking disrespect me like that. Whatever gave you the misconstrued notion that you're standing in front of your age mate, I'm your mother. That is not a threat. That's a declaration of fact. I am your mother, and you will never treat me short of that respect that I have earned. When people stand in front of you and act like a child, sometimes the thing we want to do is reflect that. So now you have two children bickering. You know when my children bicker? Because they're not adults yet. Sometimes I just listen to them. Because I feel like they need to work it out. They need to figure out. They need to be able to have a voice. And you'll usually hear one like, you're being so dismissive. Like, you're being really selfish right now. You're just thinking about what you want to do, but we're a family. Just these really adult type of conversations where they know you don't have to want to help. You can feel very inconvenienced and irritated. But when your family needs something, we come together and we help, because that's what a family does, regardless of how inconvenient it is. So we have a greater family called humanity. When did we stop helping each other learn the things we needed to learn? And I'm speaking strictly about our lack of willingness to help people to learn how to self-regulate, about boundaries. We've learned to be so politically correct that, we can't do that. We can't do that. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, and I'm going to own the results of that. I'm going to own the ramifications. If I want to be reflective of your toxicity, I don't care who's watching. I will own that. And if my reflecting their toxicity causes someone who witnesses it to see me in a bad light and walk away, that's okay. I didn't need you to take space within my sacred space if you can't allow me the process of working out my emotions. Am I saying it's the right thing? No, I'm saying that's where I'm at in that moment. And if you can't extend me the kind of grace that I would extend you, be gone. And that's what it comes down to. We no longer extend each other the same type of graces that we need. We just don't. We just don't. Everyone is ready to argue. That time, some of you were there while I was live streaming, and you witnessed the medical staff audibly getting really loud with me. And what did I do? I treated him like my child. Is there a reason why you're screaming? Because I'm sitting right in front of you. I'm not understanding why you're choosing to communicate in that way. I was the mom in that moment. And what did he do? He recognized, I'm sorry. And he goes, you know what? And then he sat down beside me and he began to speak. Instead of escalating and escalating and escalating within himself, waiting for me to join him there. No, child. The mother energy is sitting, waiting for you to calm yourself down. Address me as an equal, because I will not join you in the tantrum. It was a crazy day. It was a crazy day. Super crazy. Did I need to join that crazy? For a little bit, I was there. I was triggered. And I was behaving in a way that's reflective of the way I was being treated. And then you guys helped me to realize, okay, breathe. You can't effectively communicate if you're not effectively breathing efficiently, meaning a conscious inhale to fully expand the lungs, a conscious slow exhale to fully remove all that toxic air that you were going to use to speak in a toxic way. And then another conscious decision to refill your lungs with new air, new words, a new approach, a new point of view. And when I approached it differently, what happened? It was a different outcome. Some people might say it's manipulative. The world exists with manipulation. Are you kidding me? Just be thankful I manipulated that into neutral. For whoever's like, yeah, Pisces manipulative. Fuck yeah. But you're seeing a Piscean that's balanced and use that ability to manipulate a situation into something that was neutral. That's powerful. Recognize what you're witnessing. True power of a goddess in flesh. And maybe it's time for me to allow myself to be placed upon a pedestal that was created for me to shine from. And maybe that's what I needed to hear that for. I'm ready. Place me on a pedestal, not because I'm better, but because it helps me to better shine, so others can choose whether or not it's time for them to find their path and go back home to themselves, or to just gain clarity of what's in front of them, what they are facing. It's okay. Now I understand. Now I understand. And I've read that passage so many times in the past. I've had this deck for years. And it's never affected me in the way it's affecting me now. It's giving me a sense of clarity that better gives me permission from myself to really live up to what it is I'm created for. I'm created to shine authentically. Someone wants to shame you for shining. You're nothing but a candle in a candle holder. How asinine is it for someone to yell at the candle for burning the way it was designed to burn? When we put things in simpler terms, we begin to fully understand the audacity of this fallen patriarchy. The goddesses have returned. I'm not the only one in flesh. There's a correction needing to take place. And it's not a correction that implies men are toxic. It's a correction that implies men and women are equal in their differences, and together we form a powerful union. Powerful. One that can totally alter this period of transition into a higher degree of dimensional consciousness and awareness. Stop the competition. Stop the comparison. We fit together. Lock and key. That's like the lock telling the key, you're useless. You can't lock anything. Okay, lock. How do you unlock? Now you're stuck. Each serves its purpose. Each serves its purpose. You exist for a very profound reason, and whether or not you know what it is right now or I know what it is right now, you have to have faith in your process and allow yourself to just shine. And if that means your life is designed to place you on a pedestal, then climb on up, Thumbelina. Climb on up. It's perfectly fine. As long as you know that pedestal is to help you better serve through increased visibility, that's fine. I get it. I finally get it. It's taken me a long time to understand. The pedestal was not about anything, competition, or no. We can still be equals and be placed in different positions. I get it. I get it. I finally get it. That was so fucking simple. That was so simple. I'm going to leave you guys with this thought. That's such a simple concept, right? I mean, I've read that passage so many times. Why didn't I get it until now? Why? Well, it's not because I'm dumb. It's not because I'm slow. It's because I didn't have the maturity and life experience yet to fully understand the gravity of what my soul was telling me. That's okay. What I need to leave with you guys is this very real knowing that sometimes, for those who are extremely intelligent, it's very hard for us to accept the answer is that simple. When you start to attack yourself because you think, like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. Why did I not get this? It was so simple. No, that's usually evidence that your mind functions in a highly complex manner. You're able to understand very easily the things that are multi-level, multi-step, extremely complex. I've homeschooled my children basically their entire lives, right? And all of my children have taught themselves how to read. So one of my kids, they're already at like 8th grade level work in preschool. So we're like, I'm like, we have to still do this stuff because this is age appropriate and this is what we're going to have to do in order to get you into school and yada, yada, yada. The question was something like 4 + 8 or something like that. He couldn't just do 4 + 8. He did some complex freaking calculation involving unknown variables and algebraic expressions. And 8 in your head, 4 on your fingers. No, mommy, that's not the answer. Up with 12. How are you going to say that's not the answer? No, well, you have to do this and then the variable. Son, and the reason this came up was because it said to show your work. It wanted you to draw lines, tally marks. And he didn't show. And I said, you have to show your work. And then he tells me how he got the answer, which the answer was right. But he's using coefficients, variable, unknown. What? Fucking profoundly gifted. Profoundly gifted. But he couldn't do 4 + 8. He cried. He cried. He cried because he felt unheard. And I was trying to explain to him, like, I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, they want you to make lines. And then a few years later, not many, a few years later, he started, I don't know if it was trig or calculus. And he's like, Mom, I don't get this question. And he shows it to me and I'm like, fuck, I don't know calculus. Okay, well, let me see the book. And I'm reading the book over and over and over and over. I'm not getting it. I go online and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking like, how do I figure this out? Like, it's like 40 minutes already. I look like I'm about to cry because I'm so frustrated. I don't know the answer. And if I don't know it, I can't guide my child through it. And then he goes, it's okay, Mom. I'm like, no, honey, I need to help you. Like, we can figure this out together. He goes, I already got the answer. And then he shows me how he did it. And I'm like, well, then why did you ask me for help? He goes, well, I didn't know how, but you looked so frustrated. I felt bad for you, so I figured it out. It's okay, Mom, you tried. He figured it out pretty quick. Self-taught. He figured it out pretty quick because he looked like he needed to say something, but he didn't want to say it because I was like, oh, fuck, where the fuck is he? Yeah, veins popping out of everywhere, like trying to subdue my silent rage. I went on Khan Academy. Khan Academy, not Academy. I went on Khan Academy. Fucking assholes. Confused me more. It confused me more. I was like, but I don't understand. Yes. Yeah. So sometimes when you're profoundly gifted, unless you're properly motivated, it's just not worth your time and you're not going to learn it. And at that point, he was motivated because his mom's about to cry in the kitchen. His mom was about to cry. And, you know, mommy doesn't cry. So this is some serious shit. Yeah, same kid. Couldn't do 4 + 8. Same kid. Yep. Before you start beating yourself up, try and understand yourself first. Many years I've explained to him, you hold yourself to such an unfair, unrealistic standard. Many years I've explained to all of our children, if you already knew this, we wouldn't be doing this work. I understand you're frustrated, but that frustration is unnecessary. We don't expect you to know this work if this is the first time you've been exposed to it. And they get frustrated. They get so frustrated. Like there's this expectation for everything to be easy. It's not. Working beyond grade level. Like their comprehension, all of my kids, all the way through to the youngest, their comprehension, their vocabulary, the vernacular that they use consistently is fucking profound. They're still children. They still have unrealistic expectations. Having a mother that's a perfectionist, unfortunately, they inherited my unrealistic expectations of myself. And because I'm aware, I've done work to help myself come to terms with these things. And because I've done work to help myself come to terms with much of the way my brain functions, pair that with my experiences, I'm able to better help my children understand themselves. That's not to say I never get frustrated. That's not to say that I never raise my voice or speak in a harsh tone. That's to say that we are real. We are real. What we experience is real. There's been times where I've told my kids, like, you know, I'm not sure what your expectation of me is, but I'm a regular human being. I have limits. There are some things that I just, you know, I'm a regular human being. I don't know if you see me differently, but I'm just a regular human being. You know, these little boogers. No, you're not. Like, you're a big deal, Mom. What? What'd I tell your dad? I told your dad, stop teaching you guys that stuff. I know. And then my kids reflect back to me like, no, we're profound. Each of us are profound in our existence. We are just profound. The fact that we exist, the fact that we are who we are profound. And if you can begin accepting that, knowing that even in that profoundness, you're going to have moments of learning that involve failure, because failure is a perfect, efficient way to redirect you. Your expectations of yourself, they were programmed into you by society. A society that doesn't want you to succeed. Not because of your color either, but because no one is allowed to succeed. No one is allowed to celebrate each other. Now, I don't know what Mr. Bezos has done to piss everyone off outside of being rich as fuck. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done horrendous shit. I wouldn't. But what are people upset about? See, that's the thing that gets me. Like, what are you upset about? Because he's fucking rich and he got rich off of us. Well, it's your lazy ass that doesn't want to leave the fucking house, so you go to Amazon. I'm lazy like that too. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to hate on a guy that made it easier for me? Are you kidding me? I mean, shit. Most of the stuff comes the next day. Why am I going to hate on him? Because he had that fucking bright ass idea to do that shit? Oh, no, because he's oppressing. You don't got to sell on Amazon. Establish your online store. Establish your brick and mortar store. Have your clients go there. I don't sell on Amazon. I have hella shit that I can sell. Why don't I sell on Amazon? Oh, fuck that. I'm not giving you all these fucking fees for what? I used to have an Etsy store. I don't sell on Etsy. Why? Why the fuck I gotta give you fees and then I gotta give PayPal fees? Like, I'm good. I'm good. See, we don't want to do the work. And then we hate on people who have done the work and have succeeded at it. I've heard plenty of people talking about we need to cancel Jeff Bezos. But why? Because, look, Amazon. I don't get it. Like, help me to understand. Like, you just don't get it. Right. That's what I said. I don't get it. Why do you hate this man you don't know? Because you haven't read the articles. Well, what are the articles saying? I don't know. We just need to cancel Jeff Bezos. I'm not going to do shit until it resonates with me. I'm not going to do shit. I'm not going to be vindictive and hateful just because the world has been programmed to be vindictive and hateful. I'm perfectly fine celebrating people and their success. Until I find out what you're doing behind closed doors because you're successful, I have no problem with you being successful. Oprah, I don't like her very much. Yeah. I don't know that she's a good person. When I first became publicly visible, someone who was a friend at that time was like, yeah, I could totally see you doing an interview with Oprah. I was like, well, why? Why would I do an interview with Oprah? That's weird. I don't want to talk to her. It just feels weird to me. I don't think I like Oprah. And then all this information came out of what she's potentially, allegedly doing behind the scenes. Oh, that's probably why I don't like Oprah much. But do I need to be like, we need to cancel Oprah? I don't know. I think I need to give you the freedom and the space to decide what resonates or doesn't resonate. And no, I don't need to call you a sheep or a follower or a lemming or any other stupid ass terms that I once used to use before I knew any better. Because it's my hope that without my interference, you will eventually go through whatever process you need to go through, much like I did, and understand you're being asinine, much like I was. We have to focus on our growth. We have to. There are people waiting for you to be placed on that pedestal so that you can shine a bright light for the other people to find their way home back to themselves. As that passage said, you are drenched in compassion. Your power, your purpose, your strength. It's drenched in compassion. Compassion is not about being a doormat or enabling toxic behaviors. It's not. Find your compassion for yourself first and allow it to overflow into every aspect of your life until you are drenched in that compassion. Much like the oil that's needed for a lantern. You serving as the wick. Compassion is your fuel. See it in that way. Compassion is your fuel and you are the wick. You and your compassion together is the lantern of life. The lantern best serves its purpose when it's elevated. The light being able to better disperse and serve its purpose, to bring clarity to whatever path you and other people around you are on. There's people waiting. There are people waiting for you to find your proper place. There are people waiting. So, before I go, one of the most beautiful things that was brought to my attention when I was preparing to speak at my mother's eulogy. We are all prayers made into flesh. At one point, someone who maybe didn't even exist anymore at the time of your birth cried out to creation. And as an answer to that plea, you were then given permission to exist. You are a prayer made into flesh. Start acting like it. Find your divinity. Find your voice. Cultivate that. And then find your proper place. You'll know what that place is once you reach it. And once you reach it, it will simply expand. Let it. Stop fighting it. Ride it all the way home. All the way. All the way home. It doesn't matter if you don't remember where you come from. You're in the process of remembering it. So, if you guys could please give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.